Before I begin, I want you to know that by no means am I telling you what you should or should not eat or drink, what to do or what not to do. My job is simply to present you with the facts and let you decide what is best for you. With that having been said, let's begin. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. I'm fearless. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in. Society dictates that you should eat breakfast at around 8 a.m., lunch around 12 p.m., and dinner at 6 p.m. However, they never tell you that the time you eat may not coincide with your natural bodily functions. The truth is, your natural bodily functions has a regular daily cycle that most are ignorant to. And so I will teach you how to become familiar with your body cycle and learn how it functions at different times. So let's begin. There are 3 regular daily cycles that your body naturally goes through, and they are called 1. Appropriation. This takes place from 12 noon to 8 p.m. This is around the time where eating and proper digestion takes place. The second one is called assimilation. This takes place from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. This is the time your body absorbs or uses the nutrients found in the foods that you eat. And the third is called elimination. This takes place from 4 a.m. to 12 noon. This is the time your body starts to dispose the waste and the food debris. With this regular daily cycle in mind, it is wise to not eat before 11 a.m. or after 9 p.m. So what does all this mean? It means that when you are awake, you eat, which is appropriation. And you should not eat after 9 p.m. so that when you are sleeping, the body has little other work to do. So it assimilates what it has taken in during the day. And the morning breath that you have when you wake up is due to the body's elimination cycle. Now let's say that you're one of those people who wakes up early and feel like you have to eat before the designated times. Well, it is wise then to only eat water foods. That is, foods that are high in water content, such as carrots, celery, lettuce, cucumber, apples, tomatoes, watermelons, or any food that is juicy when bitten into. The reason for this is because water itself needs no digestion, and water foods needs very little digesting and are easy on the system, as opposed to solid foods which needs a lot of digesting. Thus the digestive system must work much harder. In our ancient culture, fresh fruits were medicines to us, and thus, like modern medicines, we avoided them unless, of course, they were used for medicinal purposes. Otherwise, they can destroy your creativity. Of course, if a medicine isn't taken as recommended, the medicine may not have the same effect on the body as it used to. Some foods that we recommend that you should avoid, we refer to them as the 4 poisons. It would be wise to remember them or write them down. They are as followed: white sugar, white bread, white flour, and white salt. They are called poisons because they are refined products, meaning the natural nutrients have been removed by processing. They may be pleasing to the taste, but they provide only empty calories with little or no nutritional values. In fact, not only do they not provide nutrients, they also drain from your body's extra nutrients, water, and energy as your body works to dispose of them. Children are especially sensitive to their Livet, not diet. Their rapidly growing bodies deprived of sufficient nutrients if bombarded with artificial ingredients becomes weakened. This weakened state causes frequent colds, ear infections, fevers, and diarrhea. Many become hyperactive, have behavioral problems, or mental deficiencies, all because of food. Because of the food that you're accustomed to is so addictive, many find it hard to prevent themselves to stop consuming foods that are actually poisoning them. So, in order to prevent from putting poison in your body, always wash your hands before eating. Keep all articles of food covered for sanitary reasons, and keep flies away, which carries all types of filth, germs, and diseases. Refrigerate food to keep them from becoming spoiled, and never leave food in open cans. This can cause a food poisoning called salmonella, which accounts for nearly 70% of food infections and is commonly found in meats, eggs, and milk. Also use clean eating utensils. Never eat out of wooden containers. Wood is porous, which means that it is able to absorb food particles, and food will get into the grains and poison you. Also, if you can, don't cook with aluminum pots. They allow metals to get into your food. According to scientists, exposure to extreme levels of aluminum can cause a specific brain condition with dementia symptoms. Did you know that aluminum is also found in tap water, aerosol, processed cheese, baking powder, and antacids? So much for trusting the Food and Drug Administration, which approve these kinds of products every year. To avoid poisons from developing in your body, also avoid strenuous activities and mental exertions immediately after your meals. It is best while food is digesting to relax until the process is complete. However, never lay down directly after eating, for it slows the digestive process. If you plan to go on a journey of eating healthy, I want you to be mindful, because the mind is always looking for an excuse to avoid discipline. It is wise to listen to the inner voice of the self rather than the complaints of the mind. So with that said, I want you to know that what goes into the human body correlates directly to the efficiency in which the brain functions. Recent studies have shown that certain red food coloring creates hyperactivity in children, and that refined sugar can cause emotional instability. These are just two examples of the substances that are recklessly consumed without understanding the effect on the body and the mind. You are truly what you eat. Side note, although not categorized as harmful food, these substances should be strictly avoided. Marijuana, cigarettes, and alcohol, which is also a drug. If you have been doing any research, you will find that there's a growing awareness that your health is directly affected by what you eat. And quietly as kept, almost any disease can be cured by either a change in Livet, not diet, or a short period of fasting, and with no medication at all. This is not only true of physical disorders, but of many mental difficulties as well. You should be very mindful of the hidden agenda of modern hospitals, who give patients non-nutritional foods while they are sick. It is especially important that pregnant mothers have this awareness as well, for too often they do not realize the effect of their food consumption on the developing fetus. Contrary to the popular concept, it is not vegetarians who do not get enough proteins, but rather heavy meat eaters who take in an excess amount of proteins. Animal proteins at that, which contains a high concentration of uric acid, which is not water soluble and cannot be broken down by the liver. Thus, a certain amount is eliminated. However, the greater portion of uric acid is deposited in the joints. The result of this is referred to as arthritis. Hardening of the arteries and heart disease are two of the most common maladies in the West, where the greatest amount of meat is consumed. The culprit, however, is cholesterol, which, if not eliminated from the body, can form fatty deposits along the walls of the heart and arteries, gradually thickening until they are clogged and inflexible. The major source of cholesterol comes from the hundreds of pounds of animal tissue and its fats that each person consumes each year. Although heart disease, hardening of the arteries, and arthritis are common infirmities, the one that strikes the most fear in the hearts of most people is cancer. Many substances have been found to create cancer in animals. However, results always seems to indicate that the amount consumed by the average person is insufficient to create cancer. What is not revealed is that the accumulation of these poisons over a period of years does create cancer. Another interesting fact when it comes to humans' consumption of meat is that the human digestive system is not one of a carnivore. His or her teeth are designed for biting and mashing vegetables, not tearing flesh, which is why the average person who consumes meat must age it, tenderize it, and cook it. Another thing that most don't realize is that the human liver is proportionally smaller than that of a meat-eating animal, and is not built to handle the filtering of animal poison. Also, the alimentary canal, which is short in carnivorous animals, that is used to speed poison through the body quickly, is quite long in humans, as it is in any vegetarian animal. Now, I'm not trying to tell you to become a vegetarian, although it is more healthy. You see, the purpose for eating food is to obtain energy, and plants are the original source of energy for all living things, as they store the energy of the sun through photosynthesis. Now let's talk about the consumption of food and the environment that you live in. Quietly as kept, it is wise to eat according to your environment, especially if you do not control the production of the food that you eat. With that being said, it is wise to include some processed foods in your lifestyle so that your body will be accustomed to eating them, so that in the event that fresh foods become scarce, you will be able to eat processed foods without getting sick. You follow? So, if you live in a cold environment, then you should also eat the foods that are typically grown in that kind of environment. And the same applies if you live in a warm summer type climate. Nevertheless, be careful, however, of the products that you choose to eat, because they may contain certain ingredients that are not healthy for you. So, in conclusion, watch what you eat and what you give your children. Good foods and a positive outlook will keep you happy, healthy, and active. So, eat to live. I'm Kev Frey, and this is Back to the Basics. Facts we stated. You wanna know something? Go back to basics. Most saw a trap and was called the Matrix. The world frivolized, yet it's hard to face it. So I spread truth, hope you embrace it.